Hi, this is Scott Holstad, poet, writer, author, survivor. um, this is my third video of the day, hopefully my last. And that's a first because I've never done more than one, I think. And this is a fairly new venture for me anyway. There are several reasons I'm doing it. One, I'm doing several videos today because it's been noted that people are interested, but it's hard to hear me. The microphones in my device is not that powerful, and I'm not yet screaming at the devices, at least not while I'm being filmed. I'm also doing this in support of a new book of poems that came out on October 15th. Today's Halloween, so just a couple weeks ago. Surviving Immortality Again, Scott C Holstad, published by Alien Buddha Press, available on Amazon in paperback, fine paperback, 132 pages, 90 poems, $12.99. Obviously, I encourage everyone to check it out, to maybe buy a copy or 20. Reviews have been pretty good. Feedback's been good. I'm expecting some professional reviews in the next 2 or 3 weeks, including apparently a Kirkus review. We'll see how that goes. But I've already read from that book several times. I've read some old and new stuff, both in and not in the book, in various journals I've read. In addition to poems, I've read some stories, some flash fiction, some longer short stories, some genre stuff. And I decided, maybe it'd be cool, since all of my books, and there have been a lot over the years, I'm old, started doing this a long time ago. I've been out of print for a long time, which is why a lot of you folks, most of you folks out there who may see this, don't know me, haven't heard of me. I've never been a household name, never will be a household name, never want to be a household name. I know a lot of people who are household names. I've been published with a lot of people who are household names, but I'm not one of them. But at some point I was somewhat known. And when you go out of print, when you sort of go out of circulation, and I've had quite a few serious health problems for a while now, so that kind of took me out of the game for a while. Things change, and so there aren't that many of you out there probably who have seen, heard, encountered anything from any of my earlier books. And I thought, well, hell, I think I'm just going to start with my first little chapbook and read a couple from most of my books. I don't even have copies of all of my books, which is crazy, but there you are. And today I'm going to read a couple from my first collection, my first little chapbook called Street Poems, which was published in 1991 when I was living in Phoenix, Arizona. And it was one of actually 2 collections that came out that year. The other one, Industrial Madness, was published in Finland several months later. And they're very different from each other. This one, and yes, I knew whereof I spoke, having had some down times a couple times by then, and Phoenix is not the easiest place to live in your car, live on the streets, etc. It gets really damn hot there. In any event, this did really well. It got a lot of really good reviews. It went through several press runs. It was published by Mulberry Press, which was located in Kansas at the time, and the publisher moved to New York year or two later, it went through at least 3 or 4 press runs. Small, but this remains one of my favorites for obvious reasons. You usually remember, if not love, your first poetry collection or book or whatever. I remember reading about Bukowski when his first came out. His was a chapbook too, from a press in New Orleans. Jeff Weddle knows about that, and how elated he was. I felt the same way. And I think I'll just read the last few in this collection. And this first one I'll be reading is called Dream Walking, from Street Poems, 1991. Walking down to the corner, heard a cop got shot down here a couple days ago, bled like a pig. Can still see the stains on the sidewalk. America the beautiful, cities sprawling like huge drug-infested rodents. The greatest country on earth. It's that escapist mentality, a pen and a paper and a good occasional stiff one. I have dreams. A bar down the street has toilet paper made of acid sheets and pendulous breasts flowing in a giggling sort of way. You actually have to piss in a cup to work. On and into eternity. Our country's finest, brave thugs that they are. 7-to-1 odds are great, especially if the one is handcuffed. I saw great dildo-like steeples rising out of the indifferent, dung-infested graveyards. Representatives of the people, a society on the edge, screaming for television, more and more TV, 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 TV. We dream of peace and tranquility, the day when we no longer despair, but our self-imposed angst cannot be avoided. We can't run. It won't go away. The noises I hear in my hell are very real, and I'll continue to exist in an interested sort of anguish, looking for blood stains on acid-free sidewalks. The next one is titled Wander. Flowery images flowing high and tight and transparent, read invisible, vein-like lines forming vortex here, an infinity down there reaching to God, or at least the end, in a Frank Lloyd Wright dream universe of Kafkaesque proportions. Seeing is believing, they say, and if boundaries are limitless, are we? Or is existence twofold and doomed before the sights are set? And if so, does God really weep for humanity? And must we continue to seek sustenance through escapism and do sporting events and all their microcosmic glory refute the tenets of nihilism? Or should we simply accept and wallow in our ignorance, unbearable lightness of being creatures who feel what? I don't know. I sit and ponder life within, out, limits, and distance devoid of meaning, or is it cultural constraints? And quickly light a cigarette to keep myself from burning out. Last one. This was published in Cokefish. I remember, sadly defunct. Oh, the progress. Looking out the door of my room, shit-stained carpets and all that jazz. Whither goest thou, dude? And pouring all sorts of love, stolen money into their veins, all the peeling, rotting flesh that pours, trying to breathe through the muck, opening up like mouths of baby birds, and clamping down hard on the dreams of the lost and the ignorant, and dogs wailing in the heat and licking their balls out envy. And ice cream colored people, as in Rocky Road, muddle about slow-mo when there's a big tree dead out front. And why is it still there? I guess for dogs to piss on and sirens scream, or maybe it's just my imagination. But I'm sweating, and I can smell the stench of a decaying humanity wallowing in the throes of hypocrisy, apathy, and misery, and I take a deep breath before stepping out. The last 3 poems from my first collection, Street Poems, published 1991, when I was living in Phoenix. Went through a number of really fascinating experiences there. Wouldn't wish them on most people. But life lessons, instructive, survive and move on. I appreciate those of you who watched this, who listened to my poems, who survived. Feel free to comment, to like, subscribe, to share. You can find my website at hankrules2011.com. You can search for me if you're interested in more or other things. I'm all over the place. I have some collections on the Internet Archive that you can actually download for free if you want. I'm on Goodreads, I'm on Amazon, I'm everywhere. Today is Halloween 2025, and I hope everyone has a good holiday and a good weekend. And feel free to follow, engage, whatever. It'd be great to get to know some of you, some more better than I already have. Thanks so much. Take care.